All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a mental model that's, well, it's pretty cool. It starts in the world of music, but trust me, it applies to everything. We're talking about the concept of melody.
So, the music expert John Powell once said, "A tune is always on its way somewhere." And you know exactly what he means, right? That feeling when a song just grabs you. It's got a path, a destination. It's the part you can't get out of your head, the bit you're humming hours later.
But here's the big question. What if that somewhere isn't just in a song? What if we could take that same idea, that core, that recognizable thread, and use it to understand, well, just about everything in a totally new way?
And that is the core idea right there. We're talking about using melody as a mental model, a way to find the absolute essential identity of anything, a company, a comic book hero, even a moment in history. It's all about cutting through the noise to find what really matters. Okay, so what is it exactly? As a mental model, a melody is the irreducible essence of something. Think of it like this. It's the one thing that has to be there for something to be, well, itself. It's the difference between the core identity and all the stuff that's just decoration on top.
Okay, that's great in theory, but how do we actually find it? How do you tell what's the melody and what's just fluff? Well, there's this fantastic, super simple tool for exactly this. It's called the embellishment test.
It's just 4 simple steps. Step 1, list out all the different pieces of the thing you're looking at. Step 2, in your head, just start taking them away one by one. And then step 3, you ask this one crucial question. Does it still feel like the same thing? Does its identity survive? If the answer is no way, then bingo, you've just found a piece of the melody.
All right, let's make this super clear with a great example. Spider-Man. If we run the embellishment test on him, what do we find? Well, his melody is definitely Peter Parker being his secret identity. It's absolutely his Uncle Ben's death. That's his whole motivation. And of course, wall crawling. You take any of those away, and is he really Spider-Man anymore? Not really. But what about the actor playing him? That's an embellishment. The story works perfectly fine with Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland. Why? Because the core melody, the real Spider-Man, is still there.
And this is the cool part. Once you start looking for them, you see these melodies everywhere. Seriously. Let's do a quick fire round, from brands you know to entire civilizations.
Okay, think about a brand like Nike. What's their melody? You'd probably say the swoosh logo, right? But no, that's just an embellishment. The real melody, the thing that holds it all together, is this idea of performance and individual grit. That's the thread that runs through every shoe, every single ad. The swoosh just points you to that deeper idea.
Or how about history? You've got the Silk Road, connecting all these vastly different cultures. So, what's the melody there? What's the through line? Well, you could argue a huge part of it was silk itself. It was this shared note, a status symbol, a form of currency that acted as a common language, letting all these different groups interact while still being themselves.
And it's the same thing we saw with Spider-Man. Think about Batman. He's been rebooted and reimagined so many times, but his core melody is always the same. His parents' death, this relentless quest for justice, and of course, his gadgets. That's the tune. That's what makes him Batman, no matter which actor is in the suit. But wait, there's a really fascinating twist to all this. A melody isn't just about the notes you play. It's just as much about the notes you choose not to play. The power of silence.
This brings us to this idea of the anti-melody. You see, an identity, whether it's a person or a company, is shaped as much by what it deliberately says no to. These refusals, they create a sharp outline like a silhouette. It's the boundary that really gives the melody its distinctive shape.
And just look at these amazing examples. Think about Apple in its prime. Its melody was beautiful, intuitive design. Its anti-melody? They absolutely refused to ship slow software or ugly hardware, period. Or In-N-Out Burger. Their melody is simple, fresh, reliable food. Their anti-melody is that they will not add tons of new stuff to the menu or franchise all over the place. In these cases, their no list is almost more powerful than their yes list. That refusal is their secret sauce.
Okay, so this is way more than just a cool way to analyze brands or superheroes. This is a practical toolkit. It's something you can use right now to better understand the world around you, your job, and yeah, even yourself. So here's your new diagnostic toolkit. 3 questions you can start asking about anything. Number 1, what's the one thing that always stays the same no matter what else changes? That's the melody. Number 2, what's just decoration? What could you strip away without losing the real essence? And number 3, this is a good one. Where's that sweet spot? That tension between what feels familiar and what feels surprising? Because that's where the most powerful melodies are born.
And that leaves us with one last big question, a question for you to really think about. When you turn this lens on yourself, after all the changes in your life, jobs, friends, places you've lived, what's the one melody that's always been there? What's your irreducible, recognizable through line?